So let's look here at word problems, okay? We're going to draw a picture. You've got Ben, who is 5 feet 3 inches tall, so we'll draw him here. Yeah, he's not very tall. It's okay. It's okay. You know, maybe he's a kid, okay? Maybe he's a kid. There's Ben. And, okay, stop talking. Here we go. You have the sun. The sun comes from the sky. Okay? It is casting a shadow on Ben. Notice that the shadow gets cast here, and it does not get cast in the sky. Where do shadows go? On the ground. Good chat. Okay. The shadow is down here, folks. There's his shadow. And how long is his shadow? It says he casts a 9-foot shadow, okay? Okay, remember, there's the sun in the sky, so that means that probably the sun is setting or something if it's casting that long of a shadow. This is a thing that could happen in real life. Okay, 9 feet for this. Here's the complicated part. If Ben is 5 foot 3 inches, or 5'3", then we need to think about this. 5 feet 3 inches. We're not going to use that, and it's not 5.3. How many inches are in a foot? 12. So 3 out of 12, or 3 divided by 12, I would do 3 divided by 12. What would that give me? Do it in a calculator if you need to. Or maybe you know that's going to give you a fourth. Maybe you know what that is as a decimal. It is 0. It's a quarter. 0.25. Check in your calculator if you don't believe me. There's 12 inches in a foot. We're going to convert this into a decimal. So Ben is actually 5.25 feet tall. It is not the same thing as saying 5. If you do 5.3, that does not make sense, okay? You also now have a tree. So this sun is casting a shadow on both of these things. Here's my tree. Okay. And the sun is also casting a shadow on that, and I didn't do a very good job drawing my picture because now the shadow is going to be awkwardly, like, not the same. Okay, do your best. Casting a shadow on both of them. Do we know how tall the tree is? No, X. You do know how tall or how long the shadow is on the ground. So again, shadows go on the ground. And the shadow on the ground is 24 feet. Okay, this gives you a nice little picture. You could see what goes together, right? Now you just got corresponding parts. The hardest part is drawing the picture. So we're going to put these pieces together. Make sure you do, like, if I'm going to do tree over, what's this kid's name? Ben. Tree over Ben. Then I need to do that each time. Okay. So I'm going to do X over what goes from Ben. What corresponds to X? 5.25, his height. So the height of the tree over the height of Ben, 5.25, is equal to, now you got to go back to tree. Shadow of the tree is 24 over the shadow of Ben. 9. Do you know what to do from here? Okay, solve it. Let's see, I think if you do this correctly, we get 9x is equal to 126. Okay. And then x is equal to 14 feet. Okay, this is a word problem. Make sure that your answer has units. Otherwise, I won't give you full credit. Tease, okay? It's a word problem. And make sure you answer the question. Okay, now we're going to do a word problem with Mia. Fortunately, this one already has a picture. That's nice. Mia wants to find AB, which is the length of the lake. So right now, you know you're trying to find the length of the lake, so put an X. She drives east from point B for 10 kilometers is already labeled. Turns and drives 5 kilometers to point C, already labeled. And then turns south and drives 3 kilometers to point D, already labeled. Show how Mia could use the similar triangles to find AB. Okay, to find AB is that length right there. So if you go to set this up right now, the problem is, we'll highlight these. 3, hopefully you can see that, corresponds to X over here. That didn't do a very good job highlighting. I'll try that again. 3 and X go together. I've done it in red. But you need another piece, okay? You have the 10, which is down here, right? Do you have the piece that it corresponds to? This one? Nah. Okay, so you need to figure that out. This one's a little bit more complicated. There are some like this on Delta Math and on your assignment today, which is why I'm going to make you do it. And this is a precursor to what we're doing next unit anyway, so it's good for you. So we're going to use Pythagorean theorem, which is something that you would have maybe learned about in 8th grade. It is not that hard. But we're going to do it. So it does take you one little extra step before you write the proportion, but hey, you already have the picture anyway, so it's not going to hurt you. When we use Pythagorean theorem, it only works for right triangles. The side across from the right angle is called C, or the hypotenuse, okay? We've done a little bit with hypotenuse leg, if you remember from last unit. So Pythagorean theorem is this: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, c is the length of the hypotenuse. Now you plug those two things in. So I know that 5 is c, so it goes over here. And then the other two sides are a and b. It doesn't matter which you choose for which, okay? So we could do 3 squared plus b squared. That is not a 6, it's a b. Okay, let's evaluate these. You know what these are. What's 3 squared? That's 3 times 3. 9. Did you learn this in 8th grade? Okay. 5 squared is, or maybe 7th, depending on if you did like 7th advanced or something. 5 squared is 25. 5 times 5. Okay, you're just solving an equation. We're solving for b, so then how do I get b squared by itself? Subtract 9. So now b squared is equal to whatever 25 minus 9 is. 16. Okay, and then the last thing we tried about is to undo a square. The inverse of squaring something is to take the square root. So to the last step here would be to take the square root. And that tells you that b is the square root of 16. Do you know what the square root of 16 is? If not, there's a button in your calculator. If you look usually above, on mine I think it's x squared. There's a root sign above it, which is usually in, what's pink or yellow or something. Okay, square root of 16 is 4 because, oh, I already have a chart in my wall. Look at this. 4 times 4 is 16. It's up for Algebra 2. Square root of 16 is 4. I'll also leave it up for you next unit. So the square root of 16 is 4. So b is 4. All that work just to get that side, but you know what? I don't regret it because it's good for you and you're going to have to do it literally in a week anyways. Okay, so this is 4. You can plop that there now. 4 kilometers, and now you know the pieces that go together. So again, we are going to do, what are we doing? Big over little? Or you could do little over big. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you're consistent. If I do big over little, then I need to make sure I do that each time. So x, I'll color coordinate for you. How about that? X over, what's x go with? 3 is equal to big over little. You need the whole side. Unfortunately, I did this in yellow, so I'm not going to write in yellow because that's not going to show up. 10 over 4, and that's the side you solve for. That's easy now. You just cross multiply and solve. So finish this problem real quick. Make sure you give me the correct units, and then you'll be done. So yes, you have to do a little bit extra work. You're going to see this on Delta Math. I'm assuming there's one on the worksheet as well. Quick math here. 4x is equal to 30. A decimal is okay. It is the decimal that does not continue on. So, and decimals happen, right, with word problems. That's to be expected. 7.5 kilometers. That's not too bad. And that is the length across the lake.